What's up, Commanders? UltimatDjz here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are. And this is UltimatDjz coming to you with another teaching trick video. But obviously, of course, first and foremost, look at this beautiful, beautiful hero right here, right standing next to me. I just want to take just 1 second and honor and offer tribute to this amazing individual whose time with us on this earth has come to an end, but I'm sure that some galaxy somewhere will come across this beautiful spirit again one day. Love, respect, and the utmost sympathy to her family, but thank you so very much, Ms. Nichols, for all the love and all the entertainment and all the inspiring creativity of your work, both on and off screen. Just thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Folks, my name is UltimatDjz. What we're here to talk to you about tonight is something to do with base defense. You guys have heard us been talking about this for the last several shows. We've kind of touched on it, and this actually happened as a result of my incursion onto Server 14 this last go-around. Now, for some of you guys, depending on when you're watching this, incursions might be underway today or tomorrow, or, you know, maybe a month earlier, or depending on when you're watching this, you might watch this 6 months in the future, just as a reference. Guys, we're going to give you the uncrackable base crew combination. All right. Now, I say uncrackable. There's a couple of things about this that still perhaps make it vulnerable, but we're going to talk about how this just really, really amps up your active base defense. All right, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on how it relates to the events. I'll give you a couple of tips as we get later in the video. This is more or less just essentially a mechanics video. So let's first talk about the very first thing that happens when somebody attacks your base. What order do the ships get hit in? All right, because there is a way you can control that. First of all, I would like to say thank you and shout out to players PatrickLiggs and 867 on server 14. They are referring to this as the bold defense. I absolutely agree. This was their design, their creation, and it is henceforth forever known as the bold defense from server 14. Shout out and mucho respect. Here's the big kicker with this. When you have somebody attack your base, there is an order of attack, all right? If you go at that base with a battleship, well, the first thing it's looking for you to try to hit is explorers, because that's with the triangle. The second thing that it's going to try to hit is even with the triangle. So if you hit with a battleship, the next ship type it's going to look for are battleships. Then it's going to work away from the triangle, which would be going after interceptors last. The fourth and final type of ship it will hit will be the survey, all right? The attacking ship order you can see right here, ship that favors the battle triangle, equal to the battle triangle, against the battle triangle, and then all survey ships in ascending power. So if you have multiple ships of a specific type that is in favor of the attacker's battle triangle, then it's going to start with the smallest ship first and work its way up to the big one. Why is this important? Because he put it right here. You get to control the order in which your ships are hit. All right. So this is a huge, wildly important thing, because depending on what ships you choose, the crews that go on there may have a specific order in which they need to survive or in which they need to die. By doing this, by using this bold defense, you are essentially neutralizing the battle triangle. Here's the point. Docking all the same ships at your base. It doesn't matter if you use all Turris, Corvette, or Fortunate. Doesn't matter if they're all Enterprises, although that's expensive. The idea behind the bold defense is to create something that is incredibly inexpensive and all going to control the order in which you're hit from start to finish. All right, nobody can change this if you follow this pattern. What is that pattern? You got to use all of one ship type. So what we're using today, the most effective set of combination, is going to be all Explorers. You can see here I've got a Rialta. All right, that's loaded up into ship slot 1. Next, I've got a tier 1 Turris. I'll explain in a moment. Remember the ascending power. Notice my power is 67,000. My next is a tier 4 Turris at 73,000. Again, this making it the third ship that's going to get hit because ascending order. All right, still an Explorer. Then I got my baby Jelly at 200,000. Again, still an Explorer. So I've got all 4 Explorers. I've now removed my enemy's ability to choose what ships he picks off first. Moreover, because I have chosen the power, the order, all right, starting with the Rialta, then the Tier 1 Turris, then the Tier 4 Turris, and then the Jellyfish, I have determined the order in which someone is going to attack my base, so I can control the crews that go on those. The very last ship is going to be a Surveyor, okay? And if you had a 6th slot, you could run a 2nd Survey if you wanted. We're going to do this based on 5 ships here today, okay? That's what we're going to do. 5 ships if you got 5 ship docks. Now, here's my disclaimer. Here's my big warning. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it based defense. This is primarily in for active defense, okay? There's a couple of reasons for that, as we demonstrated on our Twitch stream the other night. First of all, when these ships get attacked, most of them are only going to cost 1 lat or 2 lat to actually be able to instant repair. When you're actively defending, you could save yourself a click. You could click on repair and then click the free button, but if you just click the instant repair, which might be 1 lat, that is going to save you a click and get the ships repaired faster, because again, the primary purpose of this is kind of in catfishing your target, right? This is playing possum. This is active defense. All right, so what crews are we going to use? Well, the first ship that we want to die, what crew belongs there? How about a crew that impacts the battle 1 time at the front end of the battle, and then it no longer matters if they survive? That would be John Harrison. All right, John Harrison, he affects the first round only. After that, he doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter if he lives or dies, so he is expendable. We're putting him on the first ship that's going to die, because all he's doing is affecting that first round. For the first round of combat, Harrison ignores 80% of the shield, but look what we got with him. We got a Picard and Beverly, and really Beverly just there for the synergy piece, all right? But we take a look at Picard. It's 10% there, and then we've got 100% synergy, so we're getting a 100, what does it end up being, 120% bonus? It is a 120% bonus to Harrison. All right, that's getting Harrison over 100%, meaning that all of the shield will be ignored in the first round against your opponent. This is actually pretty daggone important, all right? But it does only last 1 round. So the second ship, here we go. Second ship, this is going to be a Crass build. This is on your Tier 1 Turris. A Crass build, all right, with full synergy. The side officer cards don't really matter a whole lot. You're just going after Crass for his captain's ability and his synergy. Biggest reason for that, the biggest reason, is going to be that this is the counter to ROM, okay? If somebody's coming at your base with that new ROM base cracking officer, this is the best way to reduce or eliminate the effects of ROM. But not only that, again, he is loaded up. He's going to be the second cruise ship that dies, and we're really only looking at him potentially 1 time up front. As a matter of fact, I do think that there could be another officer set that we might flip around. Crass could be important, maybe potentially giving him a little bit more longevity. But again, the biggest reason that we've got him here is to be the anti-ROM. I might even argue that this could be the 3rd ship. I might have him out of order now that I think about it, because Patrick did say that there was something wise about letting Crass survive just a little bit longer in case your enemy is using a captain's maneuver that's not ROM. Then you might be able to get just a little bit more effect out of Crass in a later round, all right? What would you put maybe in that second crew slot? Well, this is probably the one that we actually had launched, which is Tilly. What? That's kind of crazy. Tilly, at the start of combat when defending from player, Tilly decreases the opponent's shield by 30% of its starting shield health. Now, this is super important because, note, I do have these backwards. Here, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to swap these around because you know what? I want Crass to last just a little bit longer. So I'm going to put Tilly on, I'm going to put Crass on the one that would be lasting longer, and I'm going to put Tilly on this one that's going to be the second in a row. And again, that is primarily because at the start of combat, meaning she's only going to proc 1 time. Proc 1 time. If you're defending from a player attack, she's going to decrease the opponent's shield health by 30%. All right, that is what you're getting out of Tilly and this synergy set right here. Now, Michael Burnham also a shield stripper, but not getting anything worth it here, okay? 85% of your attack stats, where your attack stats are 5,000 in this case. This is not what you're after here with Michael Burnham. You're just after full synergy, all right? So if you got Burnham elsewhere, it's not the end of the world. But what you do want here is full synergy. Of course, having Saru over here on the side, again, just reducing their weapon damage, allowing your ships and your station to survive longer. This is a good ability to have here, okay? It's not doing a whole lot, but it is helping a little bit in reduction of damage. But again, the synergy being the most important part. Again, this one right here is a start of combat ability, so it's okay for it to kind of go by the wayside at the second level. Of course, then we go back to the third level, which was our Crass. We want that one to last a little bit longer. Our fourth one is key. This one is crucial, all right? This is your baby jelly. This is your largest explorer that you're going to have loaded. And I've actually got these out of order. Wow! That's what we're going to do right there. We're going to throw Yuki on here. Yuki, Marcus, and Zhao. Now, you're going to say, well, why don't you use full synergy? Well, okay. Let's check it out, full synergy. Harrison's the only other officer. We've already got Harrison in use. Harrison is with Picard and Beverly. So I've got nobody else to put here as far as synergy goes. I'll take 2%. It's better than no percent, all right? So I'm going to put 2% here, 5% here, and that is getting Yuki a 7% synergy bonus on top of her shield strip. So now not only do we have Yuki shield stripping, but we've got, Tilly shield stripping, but now we got Yuki shield stripping at a rate of 17% each round. But also don't forget, we've also got the baby jelly, which its ship ability is boosting its captain's ability, all right? So if the jellyfish is increasing the effectiveness of its captain's maneuver, then it is increasing that shield strip percentage from Yuki even more, all right? Giving you the maximum amount of shield, and that's what we want to last. Look, Yuki is going to do this each round, so we want her to last as long as possible. That's why she goes on the baby jelly. That's why she goes in the fourth slot. Your last slot is going to be a survey, all right, because this is going to last the absolute longest. And the only reason we don't put Yuki in this slot is because we're not getting the benefit from the baby jelly. So Yuki does have to sit with the baby jelly, but in our fifth slot here, just kind of depends. You know, we do know that hull breach, burning, and morale will affect our station guns, all right? They will affect what we're hitting and what we're responding to when someone comes to us. So if I've got hull breach and I've got another chance to run hull breach and I've got chances to run critical hits here, all right, then I've got GG over here to inspire burning, which is 1%. Hey, listen, you know, 1% better than no percent. Again, this is going to inspire hull breach, which is going to inspire bigger crits. This is going to inspire burning. And again, the crits are not important from the ships, all right? But this becomes all about what your guns can do. If you've inspired burning, you're getting the 1%. If you've inspired hull breach, then you are potentially getting those crit hits. But when you do, it's most likely and hopefully from your station defensive platforms, which are giving you significant bonuses, all right? I've got a couple of screenshots that I want to share. And actually, I'm going to bring you back over here to Patrick's guide. This is PatrickLiggs and 867. They collaborated on this. This was their crew. Shout out 867 who put together the presentation. Take a look at this. You wanted to not hear me just read it out? Boom! Here's your chart, and I love it. Here, I'll hide the cat for a second so you can take a nice screenshot of that. You've got your first shot, all right? And, you know, ironically, he is indicating that Crass would go into the second spot there. I was kind of thinking that we would swap that one and the Tilly crew, but he's got this one, Crass, and as the second ship that would die, and Tilly is the third ship that would die. Either way, I feel like, well, listen, I ain't going to tweak on this, all right? I ain't going to tweak on this. This is Patrick's creation, him and 867, so they know what they're doing. They wrote this thing. They've tested it. So they're saying to put Crass on the second ship, Tilly on the third ship, and then, of course, as we discussed, Yuki over here on the fourth ship, and you're fortunate. Your only survey running here in the fifth slot. If you're struggling with some of these officers, then you can note up here he's got some alternate subordinate crew spots. But for example, you'll note that there are some key officers that are super important to this combination. Harrison obviously being one. Pike Moreau can sub in for Picard Crusher. You could also have Pike or Picard and Vixis if you're missing Crusher or Moreau. But Harrison is key to all of these. Down here, you could do, as far as your shield stripper for Tilly, Burnham and Saru. You could also sub out Kumak, Nero, and Vemet in that particular slot right there. And then, of course, you've got your jellyfish. There is no substitute for the jellyfish crew, and then you got your one survey crew. Note, too, that if you did want to run a 6th ship in this defensive schema, you could add a tier 7 Turris with these guys right here, which is going to get you a little bit of extra shield stripping and a little bit of extra burning. I don't say extra burning, but a better chance at burning in on top of what you got going on with George O down here. So if you wanted to run this with a 6th slot, right here is where you put it in with a tier 7 Turris. All right, again, making it more powerful than the first 2 Turrises, but not as powerful as the jellyfish, and giving yourself 5 explorers for your enemy to work through, followed by 1 survey. All right, this is super important, again, when you're proving your longevity. What I want to do now is actually show you a couple of screenshots. How good is this crew? Well, I already told you, against a level 39, which was Patrick's base, I took a 15 million power pylon and died repeatedly. All right, so how big can this go? Well, here's a couple of things. Obviously, it is going to depend on research, right? How much damage can your guns throw? This is now putting renewed effort on guns, okay? Station defenses, station piercing, station mitigation. These are going to be more important if you're going to practice an active base defense model. What's it going to do for you as far as events? We'll finish with that here in a second, but this is going to put more emphasis on some of these defensive researches that some of you may have been skipping out on for a little while, and this is a way. That's a research that you can now invest in if you choose to participate with this style of crew and with this style of baiting. Let me show you a couple of screenshots here, and shout out to all the players that I got to work with, and I will apologize. I had to do screen grabs from my Twitch screen because I lost some of these images of the battle log. But you can see here, IJ was kind of battling out with me. Here's a 50 million power tier 7 Hegta. That's a G4 epic ship. All right. And I had the same thing loaded. Look, there's a Rialta, tier 1 Turris. There was my tier 4 Turris up here. There's my Jelly. You can see my Fortunate actually survived. Okay, the Fortunate survived. He got through 4 of these tiny little baby ships that cost 1 Latinum to repair, except for the jellyfish, all right, with a G4 Epic at 50 million power. You'll note that he died, and he didn't even get through my survey, all right? I still had 5 more station defensive guns to go. So how big could we go? Well, let's step it up. Let's try a low-level G5 uncommon. Shout out Wardod helping me with this. A level 53, a 58 million power tier 1 level 5 G5 uncommon Corvus. All right. Again, you'll notice I got the victory here. He probably killed more of my ships, but I got the victory. And also note down here, look at his shield. All right. This is the benefit of what Yuki is doing with that full synergy crew and the baby jelly. All right, this battle only lasted 3 rounds, but in the time of those 3 rounds, it was enough to strip over 100% of the shield, meaning that all of my shots, all right, in round 1, Harrison's skipping all the shield anyway, and by round 2, Yuki had done her job, so 100% of all my shots from not only the ships, which are not throwing that much, but also the defensive platforms are going straight to hull. And here was a 58 million power ship that died on my base with Turrises and baby jellies. Now, how high can it go? Well, that depends on you. How much damage can you throw versus also what ship is coming at you? We decided to step up here, a tier 4 Vorcha. I did die on this one. This was a 73 million power ship, but this is a G5 uncommon. A G5 uncommon tier 4 Vorcha. So, moreover, note that it was a battleship. There is something very specific here. So, for those of you watching for defense, I've given you a lot to work with. For those of you watching for offense, the stronger your health, the better. Shield isn't going to matter. Look, here, even on the G5 uncommon, I completely 100% strip those shields, all right? It's a percentage thing with Yuki. Yuki is going to get it all. So what is going to give you prolonged life coming after a base like this? It's going to be something that's got hull for days. So battleships are going to be your number one attempt to try to get in with a base like this. And what else are you going to do? You're going to make sure that those ship stats are as high as you can get, and you're going to throw Tendi on the underdeck. All right. The most important key to cracking this base is to have ships that can outlast the guns, outlast the survivability of all those baby explorers. And to do that, you need hull health, not shield health, because I'm going to strip that away in a percentage format. I just need to have enough hull to outlast this base. This was a 73 million power. Moreover, take a look at what it did. See, even at 73 million, all right, these are Turuses, Tier 1, Baby Jelly, all this stuff, and it took probably 70 to 75% of this ship's hull. All right. There was one other test that I wanted to show you here real quick, which this one was a big one. We went to a G5 rare. G5 rare. Shout out IJ with his Tier 4 Sanctus. And again, very sorry about some of the Twitch overlay here, but this was as good as I could do. Obviously, if I lost to the Vorcha, I was going to lose to this one. All right. But it's 132 million power, and I still zapped it for 50%. Now, if somebody is going to come at you with one of these powered ships, all right, is it super duper 100% likely that they're going to hit you? If they don't know, then you're going to defend yourself, most likely, or you're going to cost them a pretty penny. This was a G5 Tier 4 rare ship, and it still zonked half of the hull. That's not a cheap repair. That's billions of tritanium. Moreover, I'm active. I'm online. I can repair my entire base with about 20 lat. All right. This is what is going to change the game in active base defense. So the video is already too long. This is what I wanted to share with you. And I want to shout out PatrickLiggs. I want to shout out 867 for introducing you and giving us the blessing to share the bold defense with you. This is active base defense. And moreover, on the other side of the coin, what do you need to pierce it? You need hull for days. All right, a level 60 is still going to crack and get through this thing. But depending on who's attacking you and how much hull they have, you're going to be able to withstand. And what is going to improve this for you is going to be station defense, weapons, platforms, all that type of research that has to do with base defense is now going to start to have a very profound effect for you if you're going to practice the bold defense. Everybody, my name is UltimatDjz. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for making the longer video. Hope you bear with it. Hope you learned something here. And again, shout out to Server 14, who was absolutely a wonderful, gracious host during our last incursion. For those of you who have incursions coming up this week, good luck to you. Hope you have a little bit more fun than last time. I hope you enjoy some of the changes that Scopely says that they've made. We shall see here in just a little bit, as I am also approaching our incursion launch. My name is UltimatDjz here for Teaching Trek. Want to invite you to leave your comments and questions down below. Do you have questions? I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. If you got comments, or if you just want to shout out the genius of the bold defense over there to Server 14, give them all the love and credit. All right. Be sure to click on the subscribe button while you're here. I'd very much appreciate that. We're getting ever closer to 10,000 subs. And when we do, I'll hook somebody up with I don't know how we're going to do it yet. I might hook one person up with $1,000. I don't know. We might do a bunch of winners of $100. I don't know, but I got $1,000 burning a hole in my pocket. I need 10,000 subs in order to do that. Please be sure to click on the like, give us a thumbs up, and share with all your team. My name is UltimatDjz, your friendly neighborhood cat person. Saying meow for now. Love you, minute. Catch you on the next one. Meow. Bye, everybody. Bye. Meow. Meow. Pew, pew, pew.